Katie Price has reportedly split from her boyfriend JJ Slater, just hours after admitting she no longer needs a man in her life. It's thought the former glamour model ended the 2-year relationship because she couldn't see a future. Sources have claimed the problems in their romance had become too obvious to ignore, despite Katie shooting down reports of a breakup just a few weeks ago in December. However, Katie made telling comments in her recent podcast which heavily hinted that she is now single. Speaking on the latest episode of her podcast, The Katie Price Show, the star explained how years ago she was afraid of being on my own, but that was no longer the case. Not mentioning JJ, she said, "Years ago, I was always afraid of being on my own. I always felt I needed someone. How I am now, I always say, I don't need a man. If I want a man, it's because I want them. I don't need a man, whereas years before, I needed a man." A source said Katie had doubts for some time over the relationship but hoped things would improve. They told the Mail Online, "She's now accepted the relationship will not end with her walking down the aisle for a 4th time," the source claimed. JJ was left disappointed and has already packed his bags and moved back to his home in Essex. They added, "He genuinely saw a future with Katie, but it seems she ultimately had a very different outlook." The pair do still follow one another on Instagram, however, which could hint the apparent split is amicable. Katie began dating JJ, who appeared on the 2023 series of Married at First Sight UK, soon after her split from Carl Woods. In December, she was forced to deny the pair had parted ways. Katie posed for a photo with JJ's family on Boxing Day, proving she and the reality star were going strong. In one photo, mom of 5 Katie could be seen beaming as she wore a cozy, cream-colored beanie, as she sat among JJ's nearest and dearest. Katie admitted in August that they still didn't live together after 2 years of dating. Following on from more split rumors, OnlyFans star Katie addressed their relationship in an episode of her podcast. Speaking to her younger sister Sophie, Katie said she was designing her own house and that JJ wasn't involved in that process. She explained, "People have to realize JJ owns his own house and he owns his flat. He rents his flat out and his house is like a new build, like a show home. I can't remember the last time I went there. He actually has got a good eye." Just 1 month prior, it was reported Katie had split from JJ and was already moving on with loads of guys filling up her inbox. Katie and JJ have decided to go their separate ways, with JJ having already packed his bags and moved out. Ultimately, Katie's gotten bored. Friends and family had been warning JJ for a while that he'd lost his sparkle and that she treated him like a doormat, a source told Closer.